Titleist Vokey SM7 Callaway Mac Daddy 4. What's the best wedge of 2018? Let's find out. First of all, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing and hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the content. So let's start with the daddy of all wedges. And funnily enough, that's not the MacDaddy, it's the Titleist Vokey. Now we have the SM7. I remember the first spin mill wedge that came out. Do you remember? With the kind of red detailing in here, how good was that wedge? It used to rip golf balls to pieces. Now all of a sudden the groove rules have come in, all wedges are fairly decent at spinning golf balls and stopping them. So we've gone away from the whole spin idea of the groove. Yes, the spin mill grooves are designed to get a lot of action on the golf ball, obviously within the legal requirement, but what Bob Vokey has done, as you can see on this wonderful lob wedge I've got here, focused a lot more on the CG placement of the wedge to get the correct trajectory out there and get the weight in properly in the head for the desired shot. So you can see how we've got much more weight on the top here, that's been taken away from the bottom, and dynamically through the shot that is going to help me get the trajectory, the desired shot that I want. Equally on the F grind here, you can see how we've taken away a lot of the weight here at the top, put it more in the bottom, again designed so that dynamically through the shot that club is going to make the ball react just as I want it to. The SM7's come in 3 finishes. We've got the chrome that pretty much every wedge that was ever released has been released in. That's personally my favourite. We have the jet black, which is like a matte black, that's a beautiful, and we also have brushed steel. That's what I have here, and it's the first time I've seen the brushed steel, and it does look pretty awesome, to be fair. These have been hit a few times, they still look like new, they haven't corroded away. Sometimes when you get different finishes other than chrome, wedges can very quickly look very old. Let's talk grinds. Vokey wedges come in 6 different grinds. That is a lot of grinds. For me, it's probably too many grinds. Unless you're going to go and get fitted by a professional or at a Titleist fitting centre, it's probably too many options. If you're in the market for a set of wedges, I highly recommend you go and get yourself fitted. Not only for the grinds, but also for gapping. Gapping is a huge part now of how you should be choosing your wedges. The average pitching wedge now is around kind of 45, maybe even 44, 43 degrees of loft in some cases. If your next wedge is a 56 degree sand wedge like normal, that's going to be costing you shots. You need to get a gap wedge in there, a 48, a 50, a 52, and then work off that with your yardages. Anyway, back to grinds. So we have the F grind, the kind of full shot grind, the S grind, which was designed by Steve Stricker for the straight face shot. We also have the M grind, which helps you manufacture shots you can open. I don't know why I'm using my hand. You can open the face up a little bit more and the club will sit better on the ground. There's the K grind, which is the most forgiving one. That's a beautiful grind in a bunker if you've not seen one just yet. It's got a massive sole on it and that just helps the club glide through the rough or the sand. We also have a new grind this year called the D grind. That's similar to the M grind, you can manufacture it, but it's got a little bit more camber on the bottom, just a little bit more bounce, a bit more forgiving. And then finally we have the L grind, what I like to call the lob grind. It's also known as the least forgiving grind. It's got a very narrow crest on the bottom, designed for maximum workability, but not very forgiving if you're not that skilled in that area. MacDaddy wedges are a little bit simpler than the Vokeys. Not simpler as in the design, but simpler as in what options you can have. You can have them in this chrome colour, which, like I said earlier, is my favourite colour for wedges. It's just nice and simple. You do get a little bit of glare off the sun with these though, so that's worth thinking about. Also, you can get the jet black. Now, whenever I've had jet black golf clubs, after 3 rounds, a couple of shots in the bunkers, shots with a few stones under them, they've looked absolutely beat up and knackered. So for me, I would kind of stay away from that. I have been told, and I have seen in other people's reviews of these wedges, that the jet black now does stay black for longer, so that's good. That shows that they're obviously investing in the paint that goes on these and trying to make it a little bit more versatile. Groove wise for this, we have the grooving groove. So you can see on the club face we have not only the main grooves, but we also have some smaller grooves as well, almost micro grooves if you will. They're designed to get a little bit more action on the golf ball. I'm going to note that down and test it when I hit these shots. Grind wise with the MacDaddy 4s, again it's a lot simpler than Vokeys, and I quite like that. I like the idea way of simplifying it for the customer. We have W, we have C grind, we have S grind, and we have X grind. These are all S grind. This is the kind of standard grind. Versatile, you can open it up, you can play it square. C grind, where a little bit more rounded off at the top, and that's even better for kind of opening the club face up. We have a W grind, which has got a really wide sole to prevent digging. That's going to be similar to the SM7 K grind, the really big one for giving one in bunkers, like I said. And we also have a brand new grind, the X grind, and that is a completely new grind. It's got a very narrow sole and a high bounce. I'm now going to go and play some shots with these clubs. I'm at the short game area here at Huddersfield Golf Club. I'm lucky enough that I have 50, 56 and 60 in all these wedges. The Callaway Mac Daddy 4s are all S grind. I have the 50 degree in the SM7 as an F grind. That is the only available option. It's the full shot grind. It makes a lot of sense. I have the 56 degree in an S grind, so the Steve Stricker grind, square face. I can open up if I want to. And I have the Lob Wedge, the 60 degree in the M grind. I can manipulate that. That is brilliant. I'm going to play all sorts of different shots. We do have a tee out there at about 120 yards, so it's going to be perfect for measuring some full shots as well. Let's get to it, and then I'll get back to you with a roundup of which is the best wedge of 2018. We're going to start off with some shorter shots. I'm going to play some shots out of the thick rough, some lob shots, bunker shots. I'm using Titleist Pro V1Xs. They're the ball of my choice. They're the ball I've been fitted for. How often go on about that at the Titleist Fitting Centre. Let's do this. So just a couple of shots in now, and I'm using the sand wedge, the 56 degree with both clubs. And one thing is evident, these clubs look completely different. If you are in the market for wedges, make sure you try them, because the look down the ball, to be honest, I love both of them for how different they are. I also really like that on the Callaway you get this lovely red grip. It just does feel more like a premium club. When you get the Vokeys, you get this kind of white and black wraparound grip, which to me feels a tiny bit cheaper. So for me, with the sand wedge chipping wise, the Vokey definitely felt softer. I felt like the Callaway was generating that little bit more spin, and for me the Callaway looked better down at address. So far that's a win for the Callaway. Let's hit some full shots into this green, see what kind of action we can get. We are here at 125 yards. I have two 50 degree wedges, the Vokey SM7, the Callaway Mac Daddy 4. Let's see not only how accurate we can be, but also if we can get a little bit of action on these. The greens are firm and it's downwind. I'm not expecting miracles, but I would expect them to stop fairly quick. These are brand new wedges. Let's do it. Felt really good. Let's get down there and check the footage from the flag cam. So as you can see there, distance control wise, pretty consistent with both. That tells me the lofts are both very similar. I know they're both 50-degree wedges, but you do have that tolerance as well with different manufacturers. Pretty impressed with those, really. Let's hit some lob shots. So we've given the Vokey SM7s and the Callaway Mac Daddy 4s a full workout there. Gap wedge to lob wedge, full shots, bunker shots, lob shots, chip shots, all kind of shots. Which one wins? For me, it's very close. They're both very, very good wedges. You're not going to be disappointed with either of them. So as always there, the British weather has done its best to ruin one of my videos. Funnily enough, it's nice again now. Yeah, we gave the wedges a really good workout there. The MacDaddy 4s, the SM7s. What do I think? So for me, the gap wedge and sand wedge of the SM7 were brilliant. They seem to just fly that little bit better in the air when you're looking at the full shots. As we get to the lob wedges in the set, I really thought the MacDaddy 4 outperformed the SM7. Not only spin-wise, which I wasn't really expecting, I was expecting them to be very similar in that regard, but also in trajectory wise. I felt like I could manipulate that, control it a little bit better. Personal opinion, I know, but that is my opinion on these wedges. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you found it insightful. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. See you soon.